Yo,
Oh, hang on.
we're back. Jonathan's not ready, but too late.
Of
We're
course I'm
going.
not ready. It's fine. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We're going.
I'll catch up, mate. I'll catch up. You know me.
So
I'm down.
we are talking about how Rallycross can be improved. I think.
Yeah. So basically, right. I'm sure most people have seen there was a thread that went up on the Sports Tower. It was a YouTube video by some dude called. I mean, we'll link it below anyway. But it's how can Rallycross be improved, or how can Rallycross improve? That was it. Tie-dye racing gaming. Now, it's actually a very good video. And it kind of goes through a little bit on what Rallycross is, which, greatest sport in the world. But then it goes off the obvious issues that are happening at the minute. And what I wanted to do was to kind of sort of go through the comments with you, Mr. Andrew, because I'm possibly in theory biased.
Just a little bit.
At the fact that it's the greatest sport in the world. And kind of ask you some questions, and then I want to hear more people's thoughts on it. Now, obviously, in my opinion, the current state of Rallycross was in a very difficult position last year. IMG had pulled out. I think potentially that's possibly good long term, certain aspects. Red Bull's taken over.
Is this World Rallycross?
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking just purely World Rallycross. Okay. Although I think there is impacts and some of the comments can go down the chain.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And what have you.
Yeah, some of it will cascade.
But the video
down.
was on. Yeah, Worlds. You've got the electric turnover. You've got other bits and pieces. So basically, in this video, this guy goes through it, and it's it's a good video. It's a balanced video. It's not because I've seen some previous where it was just a clickbait shit vid basically.
Yeah.
And it was shit. It got masses of views, but it was shit.
Yeah.
So I thought, so we'll link it below. Go and have a watch of it. And then what he's kind of putting over there too. Actually, I made some notes.
It's prepared, guys. It's prepared.
So what he was saying really there was, how do we get this back to what it was? Realistically, for me, I found Rallycross in 2019, which was arguably one of the best modern years ever. The closest championships. 2014, you kind of got the World RX started really in IMG and all have you. And before that, now I don't want to go into history too much because I might end up doing separate vids on history of just through the ages.
Yeah, I think that'd be good to do.
Yeah, I think so. So this was his thoughts. Your main thought is you go back to the original tracks. Okay, you stay to its roots and you keep the format. So what it means by the tracks, you've seen them. They started this thing of going to these F1 tracks, these big tracks, and creating a kind of a Rallycross track. So we've got it in the Nürburgring now. We've got it Spa.
Abu Dhabi as well, I think. That's one.
Yeah. There's been others that we no
Barcelona.
longer go to. Silverstone.
There's Barcelona as well, isn't there?
Yeah. Now, in my opinion, I totally agree with that because Rallycross is short. Okay, so 5-6 minutes. It's intense. You have to get the moves done. That is what makes the sport. It's an action sport. People will hate me for this, but it is an action sport. It's a motorsport action sport. It's as simple as that. I come from action sports and live in extreme sports, so I'm kind of my bag with it. But you've got to stay with the tracks that I think made the sport. Oh God, hello. And the tracks that are built for it. They're exciting. Jesus Christ, Mally. They're exciting. Yeah, main point.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you say, they were made for it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you use them for it?
I think it's a bit shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, WRX for 2023 has actually changed and gone back to the likes of Estering and some of the others, which I think is a really, really good. I was going to Lidden on the one weekend of the year I can't make.
I think doing these newer tracks is good, but only if it's done right.
Yeah.
I think I think there's good examples of it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I think, to be honest, I think the Barcelona one's pretty good.
Yeah, Catalunya, yeah, that's actually not a bad one. I do quite like that, I must admit. A very tricky last section, I think.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thought. You have the kind of a lot more of the old school tracks, your Liddings and everything. Okay? So that brings a lot more coverage to those tracks. Which is therefore, I wonder, could that then filter down into your national championships? It gets more people around there going, oh, it is a big, big thing, and then more likely to start, growing back to somewhere of what it once was.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. I think
Because at the end of the day, you go to a BTRDA, mate. You go to a British Rallycross, they're not packed unless it is potentially the fireworks end of year one. They're not what it should be. They're not what it was.
whereas you go to you look at something like Formula One with Silverstone, that cascading down into touring cars, or even like GT racing or something, and them places are always packed.
Exactly. Now, Rallycross, realistically, it's action, it's short and intense, and it's cars that we kind of grew up and loved. As a car culture movement, that's why I think I love Rallycross so much. It's cars that we really do go for, and it's why there should be more behind it to push it, because it has the potential again to explode. I think it was possibly going to explode again. You were starting to get on the news, doing all this other stuff. But what's your thoughts on the paywall? Because that's the other big thing that's brought up an awful lot, the paywall issue. So for those that don't know, Red Bull now have this. It is now on a subscriber only for World and European.
I think you're just gatekeeping it a lot. There's going to be a lot of people in there that want to watch it, but don't want... Or, like, I might want to just watch a weekend, but I'm not going to go pay for it.
No. And I think that's, for me, I understand you need money to make money. I don't think that's the way to do it.
Just put adverts in.
Yeah.
I think you've got your two options there. You put adverts in, and then you have a premium one where you don't have adverts. That's how every streaming
more behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's
more. I get that, because
that's like every streaming platform works like that.
Fans will pay for it. I'd probably end up paying for it if I can afford it. I mean, at the minute, I'm seriously trying to figure out racing. But anyway, YouTube works. Look at Nitro. Look at Rallycross Nordic. The pull is really, really good. Okay. Look at other floors, and the YouTube streams work very well. You can get funding in there. Okay, you can at least aim to have it breaking even, and you make the money the other way. Like, the cost of competing at World Rallycross has increased massively. Entry fees and everything. And I really do think there's an issue with the YouTube. We live in a day and age where things like YouTube is key and king, and we want to attract this new generation coming in. You've got to show it to them. It's as simple as that. But you can't show it to them because it's behind a paywall. You can't share any of their content because you'll get it. It's all copyrighted and boom, straight off YouTube. I do think that is a major issue. I think it's the same for rallying.
Yeah, you can. Even if you go away from looking at paywall, not being able to share something to give it more popularity, I see that as quite a big thing. Like, if you're wanting people to come and watch your thing and pay to watch your thing, at least let your stuff be shared so that people know about it and actually want to watch it.
And it's the craziest thing. What other sport do you get cars that accelerate 60 quicker than F1? That literally go into contact. I mean, obviously not banger racing, but there's a lot of contact around the cross. It is action from the start to the stop of the entire day. There is no pause. Jumps, dirt, sideways. There's no other sport like it. And the people at the very top, and I will argue, some of those at the top of the British side of things don't do what's needed to help the sport. And that's sad, and I dislike it thoroughly.
I'm sure there's probably a good reason why.
Money.
Yeah, probably.
So, give me your thoughts on jumps.
Sick, mate.
I'm an action sports dude from. Well, I'm a broken, middle-aged dude who loves action sports. I like jumps more the better. I'm so happy he's a jump at Lidden now.
I think
so happy.
I think just anybody's gonna give you the same answer to that.
Apparently not.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's some of the things in comments.
I'd quite like to hear people's arguments as to why not.
Yeah,
apart from safety.
Yeah. But tough. So electric.
Yeah, I think
fully electric.
I think it can have its. We saw it at Lytton firsthand in Fiat 500. The racing was still there.
The racing was superb, yeah. It's a shame that got axed for last year. Was it last year or was it the year before it got axed?
I'm assuming it'll have been last year.
Yeah, because we didn't do it together the year before.
Yeah.
But what I personally would have liked, I would have liked it to have not. Well, I think the FIA messed up with just having Cresswell do it, who didn't meet any of the deadlines. Massive of expense. They messed up there. What I would have liked to have it is a bit more similar to the original with the starred ones. Is you could have had different manufacturers, but the specs basically work out that it was okay, a tiny bit more powerful, but it was heavier than a normal supercar, and you ran them both together. Because that's how you could do it at the Nationals. This season there will be an electric Mini. Steve Harris. I don't think Steve Harris is running it.
That
I'm assuming he's some.
Look, going on that, that's like out BTCC were doing it. So you had like before hybrid cars came about, and when like turbo cars were coming in, you had a mixture of turbo cars, you had NA cars, and they kept tweaking boosts on turbo cars to make sure they were in line with. So why couldn't they do that?
I would have liked to have seen that, to be honest, because I think you have initially this issue of cost. That I get the electric is in theory, or this is maybe more the style, more like the National Series. It's cheaper to run, they say, but obviously it's a hell of a lot of money to purchase a kit.
Which makes sense.
A heck of a lot of money. So I would have liked to have seen it.
We're 13 minutes in, by the way.
Oh, are we? Right. So, that's a bit more than 5 minutes, isn't it? And this is kind of what you get through the comments, really. Try and get it back towards manufacturers. I can understand that. And if you had it so it was an open development of an electric engine, you would actually probably get a lot of manufacturers coming in because, I don't know if we're able to go to electric. Because we've got this singular element, we can't. And that, I think, is quite a poor thing there. We've got people saying costs and audience. Again, the live stream and the format. And all the format's going backwards at WRX because it should do, because the new one last year was absolute wank. Stick to your roots. Give teams and owners a reason to join. Scrap Super Bowl.
I think that's the thing. You've got to give reasons for people to join.
Yeah.
It's like you look at F1 at minute. You've got a group trying to come in. Nobody wants them to come in. All the fans want them to come in, but nobody in F1 wants them in.
I think that's it. You've got to get the fans in. There was another one actually made that this comment was made, and I think this kind of starts going into national champs. In terms of national championships, remember your national championship and not a world championship. Give equal say and treatment to support classes as well as supercars, and remember that Rallycross is a complete own sport, and don't try and market it and run it like a circuit racing meeting. And I've said this to you, and I've probably said it before, and it may get some chewed up, but it is very clicky at that level, and it fucking shouldn't be. I get it, because people are people, but there's an element where you need to give it to the sport. And I believe as a national, the people running the national championship, that is part of your role as the national championship.
I think as well though, you'll find that just every aspect of car culture is very clicky.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we're here to find. So, yeah, I thought it was interesting. It's good to get your thoughts, I think, on the paywall as somebody who appreciates Rallycross, but isn't a Rallycross not. And I kind of, just wanted to go over the comments, but really they're all the same. Obviously, we've got lots of people saying it's electric. I get it. We all want the noise. We all want the anti-lag. It's not going to last forever.
Exactly. That's
And I get these offsetting measures and things like that, which obviously I'm trying to do in my racing to be more ethically conscious. But there is an element that electric is looking like it's going to go our way, and that's just what the top level's going to be, because that's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not.
Exactly, it is what it is. It's happening. Get over it. It's actually good racing still, so.
It is good racing still, yeah. But yeah, I get it. I do get the issues with the electric. It's just, if we can sort the other stuff, then things keep alive. It's still the greatest sport in the world. It's still going to be the greatest sport in the world, and I'm going to do everything I fucking can to racing it as much as I can. And Jim Carner, ideally.
Of course.
So let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a comment and let us know what your thoughts are. That's about it.
Cool.
And if you're here, subscribe.
Of course, yeah. We probably should say that at the start of the video, but
Probably not. YouTube people who teach YouTube things say don't do it at the start.
Alright, fair
You
enough.
also say to do like questions and how to's and shit and all that.
Well, we've just done a video of all questions. What more do you want from us?
Yeah, that's true actually. Oh well, that's it. See you later. Have fun. Stay safe.
Yeah.
And we'll be back soon with probably kind of how we see 2023 with this channel going. And other stuff like memes and videos. And
Memes.
memes.
Alright, on that note, see you later.